Hey, it is Troy Stavros with Cornerstone Realty Associates here in Knoxville, and we are going over our monthly market update, going over all the data from the end of October, looking what happened last month, and also looking at what is happening in East Tennessee as a whole, things that might affect the market. So let's jump in real quick and start taking a look. Okay, East Tennessee housing market comparing October 2024 to October of 2023. 1 year difference, home sales are down 2.7% in East Tennessee. The inventory of homes for sale is up 37.9%. New listings are up 7.1%. So we're seeing more new listings come on the market compared to a year ago. Pending sales are up 11.9%. We're seeing more homes go under contract in October than 1 year earlier. The median sales price is up 7.11% and coming in at $374,900 in East Tennessee, with an average sold price per square foot of $225 per square foot. And if you're not sure what that is, that means if you take the square footage of a home and you multiply it by $225, that shows you what the average price of a home is in East Tennessee. The absorption rate is up a little bit at 3.94 months worth of inventory compared to last month, which was 3.87 months. So when we see absorption rate rise, that means we're seeing more inventory come on the market and possibly less demand in the market as well. We have to remember we were leading up to an election in October. Also, we had interest rates rising. So a lot of the things that you're seeing as far as the home sales and the pending sales, those are some things that happened before the election. So it'll be interesting to look after this month what happens in November after the election is over, if it had any effect at all. But we know that things do clamp down a little bit before an election, so that could be why we're seeing home sales being down compared to a year ago. All right, let's take a look at some of the graphs for East Tennessee. Okay, when we look here, we can see that the number of listings has been steadily rising and just continues to rise ever since April, May. It's been on the rise here in East Tennessee. We can see the listing prices have held pretty flat over here. It also looks like the new median list price is held flat. Most of the pricing here has remained flat to slightly rising, so prices are definitely not going down. And as long as we see inventory stay lower than it was in 2019, which it is still considerably lower than it was in 2019, we can expect prices to remain flat to rising. And obviously in areas with more demand, they will definitely rise more. So if there's parts of town that are more sought after or a type of home that's more sought after, you can expect those prices to rise more than the other areas of town. When we look here, again, the absorption rate in months, again, that has been climbing significantly ever since February. So that means more inventory, less demand is what that means. If we see that number come down, then that means that either inventory is shrinking or demand is rising. When we look at the sold to list price ratio, we can see that on homes that have sold, they have sold for 97.7% of the list price. So there is a little bit more negotiation happening. You can see it was way up. It was 98.6 in May and then came down. So a little bit more negotiation happening, which is typical for this time of year. You know, this isn't the hottest selling time of the year. When we get to spring, we will see this number most likely rise back up closer to list price, depending on what's happening in the market at that point in time. All right, let's jump over and take a look at Knoxville, Tennessee as a whole. So this is everything with a Knoxville, Tennessee address. So home sales are down 0.2%. So basically even with where they were 1 year ago. The inventory of homes is up 31.4%. New listings are up just 1.5% compared to a year ago in Knoxville. The pending sales are up 9.7%. And the median sales price is 9.63% higher than it was 1 year ago and coming in at $410,000, with the average sold price per square foot in Knoxville coming in at $230 per square foot. The absorption rate actually ticked down. You saw in East Tennessee, we were just under 4 months of inventory. In Knoxville, we're down almost to only 2 months worth of inventory. So we're at 2.15 months worth of inventory in Knoxville, down from 2.19. So that tells us that demand is there. Demand is increasing because we see the inventory of homes is rising, new listings are rising. So for the absorption rate to fall, that tells us there is demand in the market for homes in Knoxville. Let's jump over and take a look at the graphs here for Knoxville. Okay, when we take a look at this, we can see that things leveled off as the number of listings and actually came down over the last month. So it was rising and then peaked in September. And then between September and October, the inventory of number of homes for sale actually went down. So we'll have to see if this was the peak for the year or if we see that number go back in the next couple months. But that is definitely something we want to watch. We can see the same kind of scenario with prices that we saw in all of East Tennessee. They've remained pretty flat to rising. But again, with only 2 months worth of inventory in Knoxville, you can expect home prices to keep going up. Don't be waiting for home prices to go down, because the odds of that happening is not good, simply because we don't have the inventory of homes. There's not enough supply for the demand. When demand is high and supply is low, prices rise. So that's what we're expecting to keep happening here in Knoxville until we get inventory back to where it was perhaps before the pandemic around 2019. When they hit those levels, then we can see things maybe level off. But we are not there yet, especially in Knoxville with only 2 months worth of inventory. And actually, as far as the absorption rate, you can see the graph here, it rose and then it peaked and started coming down again. So it peaked up here at 2.19 and then came down to 2.15. So if demand keeps increasing and supply keeps dropping, we can expect that absorption rate to fall more and have less inventory on the market. Sold to list price ratio here, it peaked in May and then it's been coming down since. So more negotiation has been happening. And then this past month, it came in at 98.3, which means homes sold for 98.3% of their list price. So there is negotiation happening. So from a buyer standpoint, you still might be able to negotiate on the home that you're looking at, but depending on the home, you have to remember some homes are still hot. Some homes will still have multiple offers if they are in a sought after location or there's something about them that makes a lot of people interested in it. That can still happen here in Knoxville, and it is still happening. Okay, let's jump over here and look at this graph real quick. Again, we talked about inventory and we said maybe when inventory gets back to where it was pre-pandemic, we could see prices moderate, but you can see we aren't there yet. As of this past week, we had in Knoxville, we were right here at about 936 listings, but pre-pandemic, we were up at about 1,264. So we're down about 300 to 400 listings. So we're still pretty far away from where we were pre-pandemic. So we can expect prices to continue rising. Let's take a look down here at the market segments. When we look down here at the market segments, these are the 4 segments. When we break the entire market in Knoxville into 4 segments price-wise, this is where they land. So the lowest segment averages $293,650. In that segment, you can expect to get about 1,250 square feet, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a home that's about 69 years old. And last week, we saw 36 new listings come on the market in this segment, in this lowest segment. We saw 36 come on the market. We saw 35 get absorbed, so there is still plenty of demand in that segment. And we saw the homes that were active on the market had been on for an average of 35 days. The next segment up comes in at $419,900. In that segment, you can expect to get about 2,021 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, a home that's about 33 years old. In that segment, we saw 41 new listings come on the market, and we saw 36 get absorbed. So still demand in that segment as well, because that one also only 35 days average on the market for the active listings in that segment. The next segment up comes in at $550,000. In that segment, you can expect to get about 2,594 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a home that's about 8 years old. And in that segment, we saw 36 new listings come on the market last week. And then we saw 25 get absorbed. So a little less demand in that segment, which also shows in the days on the market, which is 49 days on the market for the active listings in that segment. And then in the top tier segment, that segment averages 874,900 in Knoxville. And in that segment, you can expect to get about 3,328 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, a home that's around 13 years old. In that segment, we saw 20 new listings come on the market last week. We saw 21 get absorbed. So there's demand there as well, but the luxury market is taking longer to sell because the average days on the market in the luxury market is 70 for homes that are actively on the market. Okay, let's jump over and take a look at what is happening with the counties in the surrounding area. So, Roane County, available inventory in Roane County is up 22.6% compared to a year ago. Pending sales are up 8.3%. And the median sales price in Roane County is up 27.10%, 27.10% higher than it was a year ago, and coming in at $340,000 in Roane County, with the median sold price per square foot in Roane County coming in at $174 per square foot. You can see the diagram over here on the left is last month, so you can just see the difference between last month and this month. There's quite a bit of a jump in the median sales price from September compared to October. That can vary depending on which homes. If you get a big, expensive home that sells, that can affect those numbers, but you can keep an eye on it and take a look at that. But $340,000 is the median sales price in Roane County in October. Knox County saw available inventory rise 34.3% compared to a year ago. Pending sales rose 12% compared to a year ago. And the median sales price in Knox County rose 9.51% to $400,000. And the median sold price per square foot came in at $215 per square foot in Knox County. In Anderson County, the available inventory rose 19.7%. Pending sales were down 14.3% compared to a year ago. And the median sales price rose 17.02% and came in at $333,500, with the median sold price per square foot in Anderson County coming in at $192 per square foot. In Loudoun County, available inventory rose 47.6% compared to a year ago. So there's 47.6% more homes for sale right in the end of October compared to 1 year earlier. Pending sales rose 1.1%, and the median sales price in Loudoun County rose 25.81% and came in at $629,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Loudoun County coming in at $259 per square foot. In Sevier County, available inventory rose 28.57% compared to a year ago. Pending sales were down 17.06%, and the median sales price was down 1.48% and came in at $502,500, with the median sold price per square foot in Sevier County coming in at $283 per square foot. In Blount County, the available inventory rose 35.6% compared to a year ago. Pending sales in Blount County rose 42.5%. That's a big number. And the median sales price rose 12.3%, coming in at $410,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Blount County coming in at $222 per square foot. So you can see, as of October, there's been quite a bit of increase in the median sales price compared to a year ago. You had 27.10% in Roane, 9.51% in Knox, 17.02% in Anderson, 25.81% in Loudoun. Sevier County was the only one that did not have an increase, and we've talked about that in past videos. Sevier County is different animal because of the big investor base, because of the Smoky Mountains being there, because of a lot of investment properties being there, because interest rates are higher. Things have definitely slowed down. And if we look at what has happened in Sevier County, as far as the inventory, you'll see that, like I said earlier, if the inventory has increased above where it was in 2019, you can expect prices to fall. I'll show you that in one moment in regards to Sevier County. And then lastly, Blount County up 12.30%. So let's jump over here and let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about with Sevier County and the inventory. So if we jump over here and we look at the active inventory in Sevier County, you just want to look at single family homes right now. Okay, here's the active inventory since 2019. This is talking about pricing. Let's look at the number of properties on the market. In 2019, there were 776 homes available in Sevier County. As of right now, there are 1,520. So quite a bit more inventory now compared to 2019. So if our theory is correct, you can expect prices to fall. And we know that's the fact from what we saw right here with this dropping and being the only one of these counties that saw prices drop in October. All right, let's look at some other things that are happening in East Tennessee. So the National Association of Realtors 2024 report highlights significant shifts in the U.S. housing market. The share of first-time home buyers, and this is talking about nationally, the share of first-time home buyers has dropped to a historic low of 24%, while the average age of home buyers reached record highs. 56 years overall is the average for home buyers. Now, 38 is the average age for first-time home buyers, and 61 is the average age for repeat buyers. This shift reflects challenges like high home prices and mortgage rates, pushing first-time home buyers to be older and wealthier. The share of married couples buying homes increased to 62%, while single females saw a small uptick to 20%. Notably, the percentage of multi-generational homes reached its highest ever, driven by cost savings and family needs. Now, real estate agents remain crucial, with 88% of purchases involving real estate agents, underscoring their importance in navigating this market. Down payments have increased, with first-time home buyers coming in at around 9% on average for down payment, and repeat buyers coming in at 23% for down payment. Cash purchases also hit a record high, with 26% of homes bought outright. Now, the overall market reflects a growing divide. First-time buyers face substantial hurdles, while repeat buyers leverage equity for cash purchases. Tennessee's population is expected to grow by nearly 8 million people by 2040, with a significant portion of this growth coming from individuals aged 65 and above. The number of people aged 75 to 84 is projected to increase by 36%, while those aged 85 and up are expected to see a 72% increase in the amount of people moving to Tennessee, while those aged 85 and up are expected to see a 72% increase. One factor contributing to this trend may be the state's lower cost of living. Retirees can stretch their retirement funds further in Tennessee compared to states like California or New York. However, an influx of older out-of-state buyers can disrupt the housing market. As established individuals, they often have financial means to outbid others and pay cash for homes, which can drive up prices. This is particularly concerning in Knoxville, where housing prices are already high. The median listing price of a home in Knoxville has increased significantly, rising from $302,450 in March of 2020 to $482,361 as of today. To address this issue, increasing the supply of homes could help reduce the competition and alleviate bidding wars that drive up prices. This could provide more options for buyers, and the market can become more balanced with prices stabilizing. Otherwise, we can expect home prices to continue their upward trend. Tennessee has emerged as one of the top destinations for workers, ranking among the top 5 states in the country, according to a report by the National Association of Realtors. The state's strong job market, relatively low cost of living, and attractive business environment are key factors driving this trend. In contrast, some states are experiencing a significant outflow of workers, with California, Illinois, and New York leading the exodus. Many workers are leaving these states in search of more affordable living options that still offer opportunities for career growth and advancement. And as a result, states like Tennessee are becoming increasingly attractive to individuals seeking a better balance between their personal and professional lives. So you can see demand. I don't know how we are going to see demand decrease in Tennessee and East Tennessee especially, because things here are just lining up where people from other parts of the country see it as a way to save money and still have the lifestyle that they want. So we can expect people to continue moving to Tennessee, and unless we build more homes, we can expect more competition for home buyers. So I would say we want to hope for more homes to be coming out of the ground to help balance the market. I hope this has been helpful and educational. If we can help you buy or sell a home, we would love nothing more than that. Feel free to reach out to us. This is Troy Stavros with Cornerstone Realty Associates here in Knoxville. Have a great day.